Food in Barcelona is extremely underrated. Why don't more people talk about how great the food is over there? Quick overview before we start talking about the food tour. Catalonia is a region in the northeastern part of Spain, and Barcelona is its capital. Catalonia has its own culture, its own food, its own language, separate from Spain. So if you hear me saying Catalan or Catalonia, you know exactly what I'm talking about. From seafood to pork, Catalan cuisine kept impressing us during our stay there in Barcelona. Last week, I released my Paris food tour video, but to be honest, I think that the food in Barcelona was much better and much more diverse. Our tour started in the Born district, which is the medieval part of Barcelona. Doug and I were lucky because we happened to have a special private tour experience since we were the only ones that signed up for that day. We started with a sweet treat at La Colmena, which is the oldest bakery in the region and started back in 1849. Fun fact, this plaque that was placed in front of La Colmena is given to businesses who are very special in their craft. It's kind of like getting your star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The left side of the plaque shows when this establishment was created, and the right side of the plaque shows the date of when they received this award. Our tour guide started us off with panellets, which is almond paste covered in pine nuts. This is a seasonal treat that's only made in Catalan and only made during the holidays. It's creamy and soft with a little crunch from the pine nuts and not too sweet. I liked this stuff, it was good, but I wasn't too surprised with it because we had something similar in the Philippines. Afterwards, we headed over to Santa Catarina market. Now, if you're planning a trip to Barcelona, you've probably heard of La Boqueria, which is an amazing market, but it's just so heavy with tourist traffic. And our tour guide said that you follow the grandmas for the best Catalan food. And where do they go? Santa Catarina market. We walked in this market, meat everywhere. So naturally, we had to try some, and we started with 2 dry sausages, the chorizo and the longaniza. I remember liking these sausages because they tasted fresh and they had these spices to flavor them. But what really stole my attention were the jamon that we tried right after. And for those of you that don't know, jamon is Spanish cured ham. There are 4 elements to determining the value of your ham. And the first one is the species of the pig. The purest breed of pig is called Iberico. That is like a glorified slice of ham. Any other species of pig that isn't Iberico is labeled as serrano. Doesn't mean that it's bad ham, it just means that it is not the purebred Iberico. The second element is food. Bellota means acorns, and acorns are very fatty. So if a pig was put on a diet of acorns, slices of jamon you get from that pig is gonna be way more fatty than a pig that was not fed these acorns. The third element is the curing process, which typically lasts about 6 to 36 months. So the longer the jamon cures, the better the flavor you're gonna get. Finally, the fourth element is the part of the pig. Jamon is from the back of the pig, which is seen as the more noble and fattier part. And paleta is in the front of the pig, which is considered more muscular, more lean, and not as glorious as the jamon. So you're on your trip and you say, I'm gonna treat myself, I'm gonna buy the most expensive package there is. I'll let our tour guide convince you otherwise.
To be honest with you, you need to be an expert in ham to see the difference as you feel it. So if you can save 10 euros, save them. We all buy paleta here because it's the same.
He let us taste 2 hams without letting us know what it was, to see if we had fancy taste. The first ham was Iberico Bellota, which is the purebred species that was fed acorns, and it was running at over 100 euros a kilo. The second one was Serrano Paleta, which is the non-purebred, the front part of the pig, and that was only 39 euros a kilo. We ended up liking the second one, which he also preferred as well. The Iberico Bellota was overpriced and overrated. It was like eating pure fat. The Serrano Paleta had great flavor. It was not too salty, not too fatty, and I could probably eat a whole package in one sitting. So those are our preferences, but the best thing you can do is the next time you go to a market, ask for samples and make sure that you're paying the higher price knowing that you liked that cut better and not because it's more expensive. Now, what is a jamon experience without wine? This little glass contraption is called a porron, which allows people to drink wine from the same bottle. Nowadays, it's kind of hip and cool to drink from this, but back then it was invented so that people wouldn't be spreading diseases. Now the next stop was my favorite part of the tour, El Champagnat, which is a restaurant that was established in 1929. And we start off with more wine. This is a sparkling wine made especially by El Champagnat. It's very easy to drink. It was sweet, which is a dangerous combination if you don't watch yourself. Oh, these were octopus on top of potatoes sprinkled with paprika. It was so good. Those potatoes were super creamy. The octopus was so soft, it was like biting into soft cheese. It wasn't like chewing into an octopus. Next is a poached egg on top of sobrasada and the same creamy potatoes. Sobrasada is a sauce made from cured sausage with paprika and other spices. Apparently, kids love this so much over there that they put it on everything. It's an egg, it's potatoes, and some sobrasada sauce. It's so simple, but it's so unbelievably good. Next, our tour guide was so nice and saw that we wanted more dishes, so he got us 2 bonus dishes. The first one was snails in a mind-blowing sauce with white wine, almonds, spices, and olive oil. Second were anchovies that El Champagnat is known for. They were piled in this bunt formation, which is kind of weird, but it was not too salty, tasted fresh, and I could probably eat that whole bunt pile. Fun fact, tapas means a cover or a lid. So you would put your dish on top of your wine to cover it. And the origin story here is that you would prevent fruit flies from getting to your wine or other debris from your environment, I guess. Next, we visited Casa Gasper, which is a master roaster of nuts, coffees, and more since 1851. It's a small, cramped space with an old-time feel. They sell gourmet snacks, including this paprika, which has a controlled origin. It's the same paprika that was on all our tapas dishes back at El Champagnat, so we definitely bought a few of those. The secret to their delicious nuts is this wood-fired roaster, which they've been using since 1851. They don't add flavors, they don't add salt, nothing else to their nuts. Let me tell you, these almonds are unlike any other almonds you've tasted. They have a nice, rich, smoky feel, and when you bite into it, after the first few bites, it's almost like it's melting in your mouth. These were so good that I legit started panicking when I found out that I couldn't buy it online when we got back home. And our final stop was Tapas Bitacora. This place is very casual and definitely a place you'd hang out with your friends. The food was also a bit heavier. It was deep fried, but it's a good thing that we only got 2 dishes here because we were stuffed from El Champagnat. The first dish was chipirones, which are small baby squids that were fried twice. These are very tender and very easy to chew. Barcelona really knows how to cook their squid and octopus. I don't think I've had more tender octopus or squid anywhere else. The second and final dish that we had were these potato wedges slathered with mayonnaise and a special homemade salsa type of sauce. I really don't like slabs of potatoes and I was really full at this point, so I just had like a bite or 2. And finally, we ended our tour in the Barceloneta neighborhood, right by the seaside. It was the perfect way to end our day. With our bellies full, we waddled over to the beach and just relaxed in the sand. The beauty of Barcelona is that you can still get sun in the middle of winter. So next time you go to Barcelona, make sure you sign up for a food tour. You get a taste of everything, and you might be surprised with these new dishes that you've never even seen before. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!